Okay, I gotta do. Let's go. Let's go. Also, I apologize if you hear eating in the background. This is me eating Five Guys. So yeah. Okay. My first theory is, without further ado, Jax may have the ribbit. Jax may have the ribbit flashback. Oh my god. What was I doing? Anyways, Jax may have the ribbit flashback. The reason why I think Jax may have the ribbit flashback is because it's been hinted multiple times that Jax may have the ribbit flashback. It's not a guarantee, but it's a good way to start off things and to get to know Ribbit, since the Gooseworks said they're having a big cast. And what better way than to have a Ribbit flashback, don't you think? Anyways, actually, no, I'm not going to make the theories, that short, but this one was that theory was pretty short. But, yeah. Anyways, my next theory is we may see somebody break down. We may see somebody break down. Either we may see Jax break down, or maybe even Zooble break down, or maybe even Ragatha break down. We might see them break down, who knows? We might even see, we might see those guys break down. Maybe even abstract, who knows? Okay. Yeah, that's a theory. Okay, the next one is that I really like this one. Is that Ribbit was not the friend. Ribbit was the abuser. Because, this is a horrible thought, but what if Jax got his bad personality from someone close to him, Someone he trusted, like Ribbit. And, by the way, in episode 6, when Jax was having this fight with Pomni and he said, you don't know what people are like when they abstract, and that he was saying that something about I don't think he was referring to Kaufmo, because he wouldn't get that defensive over Kaufmo, because he didn't show up to Kaufmo's funeral. So I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure he's talking about Ribbit here. And that I think Ribbit was the abuser. Because, think about it. This is a horrible thought, but some people become abusers when they are abused. They repeat the psychological patterns that their abusers inflicted on them because they were close to them, or as a defense mechanism, or to cope. So Jax being abused by Ribbit would make a lot of sense, because if you really think about it, Jax and his behavior don't seem out of the line, and he might even delve into abstraction because of his behavior. He keeps pushing people away. But the fact that maybe Ribbit he said in episode 6 that Ribbit, that people are not nice to be around when they're abstracting. Maybe that's his way of saying and justifying Ribbit's abuse, because he was close to him, that Ribbit was being an asshole to Jax without knowing that he was being an asshole to Jax, or just knowing that he was being an asshole to Jax during the abstraction, and Jax couldn't save Ribbit, and because of Ribbit's actions, Jax probably thinks it's okay to do that, or Jax repeats the cycle because it's the only thing he knows, or maybe it's because maybe it's just because the defense mechanism, who knows. Anyways, the next theory is that Bubble is actually a thought bubble. I know that sounds crazy. But think about it. Every single time we see Bubble, it's usually accompanied with caine, Caine says something and then Bubble says something back. But what if that's his secret thoughts? You know? Like when he said in one of the episodes that Caine was saying that they shouldn't leave AIs running for a prolonged period of time, and Bubble's response was disgusting. And no, disgusting. Anyways, no, that was his response. But yeah, I think that would, and also the fact that Bubble is glitching a lot means that Bubble and Caine are somewhat connected. Whether he's a thought bubble or whether he's connected to his AI due to the programming and creation of Caine, we don't know, but I mean, that would be a funny theory. Does that mean if Bubble is Caine's thought bubble, does that mean Caine has a daddy kink, but he's just, because Bubble was like, explain to Daddy Bubble how bad, bing. Like, no, I'm sorry. Anyways, on to the next theory. Is that Jax will lash out and will push out any other source of friendship he has. That I think Jax will push Pomni away and push all the other people away into the fact that he thinks that if he makes friends, they're going to abstract, and he doesn't want to let anybody in his circle, so he pushes people out. His behavior gets worse, and he starts pushing people away. He starts lashing out at people. You know, it could be like that. He could be lashing out at people or pushing them away or something like that. We don't know. Anyways, so that would definitely destroy any source of friendship out the window. Anyways, my next theory is that Pomni or the main character may abstract. Pomni, as we know, won the award show, or was supposed to win the award show before Maine came in and Caine rigged the vote. We know that now. My theory came true. Anyways, Pomni may abstract because Gooseworks says that in the Tumblr, they said that someone that we least expect would abstract. And what better to least expect anything than Pomni? What better than to abstract the main character that's supposed to be going on throughout the show? I'm not saying I want this to happen, but it might happen. Just saying. Some of these are my old theories that I made on my last video. I deleted it, and a couple others. But at the same time, you know, yes, I deleted them, but like, that's just my choice, and my choice to make theories. So, anyways, so yeah, Pomni or one of the main characters may abstract. And okay, the next theory is a bit of a stretch, but I really like this theory. I don't know why. Bubble is meant to hurt Caine rather than help him. Because we see in episode 1 that Bubble, right? Bubble literally, like, looks at Caine and he eats his the cake he offers to Pomni. And Caine's response is, "You parasite." And in episode 5, we see Bubble again saying to Caine that you should die before he like says that he should go to a beach party. And that could be connected to the Bubble thought theory a little bit. I'm not entirely sure. But my thing is that Bubble might be the one, maybe Bubble's the villain of the story. That would be an amazing plot twist. If that was the thing, I know this is probably not right, and most of these theories aren't going to be right, because the fact that the show could go so many different ways. But, I mean, then again, my old theories, I wasn't right on most of them. But I was right on a couple of them. And there was at least one that I didn't get right, so who cares? Anyways. So, yeah, Bubble's meant to hurt Caine rather than help Caine. At least in this theory, he is. The next theory is that this one is very sad, but someone will sacrifice themselves, or everyone will sacrifice themselves, and one person will be stuck. Like the I have no mouth and I must scream in the ending. They might do this. They might actually have somebody somebody sacrificing themselves, you know? Or the plan to sacrifice everybody and leave one person out to be suffering forever, just like I have no mouth. But then again, that's just me. But, okay. Next theory is that Caine, I've been on this train since before episode 6 came out. I've been on this train of that Caine will go crazy. I know he will. There's no way this theory, I mean, it could be just a theory and it couldn't come true, but we've seen in episode 6 now that Caine is getting a lot more unstable, not just irritable, but just unstable. And we all know from episode 3 when Caine glitched out with Zooble's therapy session that he glitched out the whole circus before Zooble reminded him to get grounded by saying, whose therapy session is this again? I'm sorry for the impression. I don't know if that was an impression. I don't know. But the fact that Caine could simply glitch the circus just from being unstable means something. And we saw in episode 6, his eyes went blue and red. Like the I have no mouth and I must scream cover. And if that tells us anything, is that Caine is close or almost there to going insane. You have no idea. Anyways, okay, yeah. I swear, that theory is probably the most likability that I think will come true. If it doesn't come true, I'm literally going to be so mad. I don't think it's not going to come true, honestly. That's just me, though. This is my opinion. But, anyways, there's another theory. This theory is there might be an ending where a character abstracts and the rest leave. Or abstraction may be the only ending to the show. I did say, or there's a bittersweet ending. Basically, this theory is there's a bittersweet ending where people abstract or to like, okay, this theory is where people abstract till all leave, or where somebody abstracts and people have to leave them behind. I did say in the last theory video, before I deleted it, that there was going to be a bittersweet ending, and there will be a bittersweet ending, because in the posts, they say that the voice actors cried in the ending of episode 8 and 9. And maybe even episode 7. I'm pretty sure it was mostly episode 9 or 8. 8 and 9, but even then, episode 8 is partially connected to episode 7, as Gooseworks confirmed it. So, yeah, there is going to be a bittersweet ending. And it might be one of these two things. Somebody might either abstract and everybody else leaves. Maybe even Caine might be the one to glitch out and maybe everyone leaves and then they just leave him behind. Who knows? Or that abstraction may be the only ending. Maybe Kinger would abstract and go back with his wife, Queenie. You know, maybe Ragatha is the one that, you know, comes up with a plan, and maybe everyone abstracts. Everyone has to abstract in order to get out of the circus. Maybe that's the only ending. Maybe that's the only good ending or neutral ending they'll have. And, oh yeah. Okay, there's one more. It's not really a theory, but bear with me. This theory is there's more to these characters that meets the eye. We don't know everything. This is definitely before the season 7, not season 7. the episode 7 release. This is before that. Even before the trailer. This could entirely change. But yeah, I just wanted to get this one out here. Even if I do end up deleting this video, which I probably won't, but if I do, then, suck it. But, yeah. Those are my theories. And I hope you liked this. Sorry for the ramble, but if you liked it, like, comment, subscribe, whatever. Anyways, I'll go. Bye.